Hello, my name is Alex Aglazov, and today we will talk about OMEGAMON for storage, add volume to the storage group feature. Firstly, we need to configure which volume should be used and for which storage group. To do this, we need to drill down by the storage group configuration link. On Open Workspace, we see configurations for storage groups, volume models, and volume pools. Let's define our very first volume pool by right-clicking on the empty row and selecting the Add Volume Pool entry. We have to define the pool name. We could also specify the description for our pool if needed. We could add volumes to pool by specifying the volume names or volume masks. We could also exclude volume or volume mask, which could be covered by volume specified in the left column. So we could include another volume or even another mask. But let's try with only one volume in the pool and press OK button. Now let's create configuration for the storage group. Again, we have to define the configuration name. We could add a description if needed. We could set the volume model name, but let's set it to empty for now. We could define storage group by masks, but for this demo, let's define only one storage group. We also need to add at least one volume pool from which volumes will be added to the storage group. We could add several pools if needed. So let's press OK button and continue. Now we could go back, and before we try to add a volume to storage group, let's check current volumes in the storage group. We see there is only one volume in the Oxys G1 and 4 reserved named. Let's try to add new volume from just added pool to the storage group Oxys G1. We need to right-click on the interested storage group and select the Add Volume to Storage Group option. In the Open Storage Toolkit dialog, we could choose whether we want to get notification by email or not, but let's leave everything default and press OK button. We could go and check results of submitted action on the Storage Toolkit workspace. Here we see our just submitted job finished with 0 return code. We could check Oxys G1 volumes, and we see that new volumes is added to the previously reserved slot. Now let's try to repeat our previous steps and add volume to the storage group Oxys G1 with email notification. We open dialog again by pressing right-click on a row. Select checkbox for notification. Fill the subject field with some friendly text. From field with ideally some no reply email address, and list all recipients. You could add several recipients if needed, and then press OK to submit actions. Let's wait a little bit for completion and check our mailbox. We could see that action failed because there are no more available volumes in the previously defined pool. It's empty because we added only one volume and we tried to extend storage group 2 times. We could go to the storage group configuration workspace one more time and edit existing volume pool. Let's add 3 more volumes to our pool for our next storage group's expansions. Pressing OK to save our changes. Let's also update our storage group configuration and add one more storage group there. Let's call it Oxys G2 and again press OK to save changes. Now let's automate this. Open Situation Editor. Select Storage Subsystem and press Create New button. We need to define name for situation. Description is optional. Then find, it might take some time, and select the S3 Volume Group Summary attribute group. Let's select free space % and group name for our situation's formula. Let's define formula for our storage groups. For demo, we need to trigger situation, so we will define free space % greater or equal 25 for Oxys G1 storage group and free space % greater 30 for Oxys G2. We could visualize our formula and check it for our storage groups Oxys G2 and Oxys G1. Then we need to assign the distribution system where our actions will be executed. It's enough to specify only one system from the Plex. Then we need to define our action rules. It should run on each item, and we want to check formula every interval. Finally, we need to define storage action itself by pressing the Storage Toolkit button. We should select Add Volume to Storage Group command, our node and SMS group type, since we run action for the storage group, not for users-defined DAS groups. And again, we could add notification by email same way as we did before when we run actions manually, by defining the email subject, email sender in the From field, making sure we made input without mistakes, and list all recipients, one email for now. Then we could check our GSL tab, and if needed, we could modify GSL job card. And it's good practice to assign the name to actions associated with situations. We press OK for action. Then we press Apply for situation, since we are done with it. Now it should be started, so we need to wait a little bit for action's completion. Let's check storage group OXYSG1. We see that new volume is added there. Let's check OXYSG2. We see that second slot is used by just added new volume. We should also get notification by email soon, since we specified them. And here they are. Let's check them. We see that for OXYSG1 we have return code 0. We also could see the command which was used to rename volume from pool to add volume to the storage group. Let's also check another email for storage group OXYSG2. It's also finished with 0 return code, and we also can see the command itself. We could always open situation and modify it if needed. Situation interval should not be less than RMF interval, because data on the SMS storage group space is updated every RMF interval, and changes after adding volume to the storage group will be visible only later after the next interval. Let's wait a little and check the data after some time. So we refresh the page, and we could see that OXYSG1 now has 3 volumes and OXYSG2 now has 2 volumes. Let's open the storage group configurations workspace last time. Let's add new volume pool to it. So same as before, we need to set the pool name and define at least one volume. We add mask, volume, vol ABC, and last mask, for which we exclude 2 masks. And as before, to save or apply changes, we press OK button. We could edit our existing storage group configuration, include all OXYSG storage group and also all DB2 related storage groups. We could add just edit volume pool and press OK button to save changes. If needed, you can create new volume model. It's required to define the name and set the VTOC size in cylinders and set the device model. Then we could go back to the storage group configuration and set this model to it. That's it for OMEGAMON for storage. Add volume to the storage group feature. We reviewed how to create configuration, the rule used to add volumes to the storage groups. We submitted actions manually, automated it via situation, and configured to get notifications by email.